My tooth is doing great. I got it glued back in, so we're all good.
Well, I guess obviously you're probably going to be playing more minutes now. Are you prepared for that? And just how do you feel like you're going to deal with that?
I'll be more than fine. I'll be good. I mean, we have 4 hour practices in the summer. If I can last that, I'm sure I can last a 40-minute game, but I'll be all right. I'll be good.
How do you balance that, role of still wanting to bring that physicality inside while also now having to know, okay, well I can do that, but I also gotta be smarter about what ways I do that.
I mean, I'm not gonna. It's not gonna take away anything. I'm still gonna be aggressive. I'm still gonna be physical. Just more so the aspect of playing smarter, in certain plays instead of making an effort play to where you're gonna get a foul call, instead of doing those type of things like avoiding those type of situations. But as far as my physicality intensity, like that's not gonna change. So.
Matt, it's obviously going to be a great atmosphere out there tomorrow night. Do you kind of relish those kind of atmospheres?
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. That's what playing is all about, just like having fun with the atmosphere and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
What do you see from Tech? What kind of team are they?
From Tech. They play with a lot of energy. They're a bunch of like tough guys. They play hard. Yeah, they play really hard every possession. That's really it.
Matt, how tough was that last time? Just y'all had a nice lead in the first half and got away from it.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, we definitely don't want to end up getting swept, so we're going in that game with a lot of focus, and we're ready to take care of business.
Matt, you can play some 5 too, can't you?
Yeah, I'll play some 5, I think. If
No, he
gets in foul
can't.
trouble.
No, he
I
can't.
can.
No, he can't.
Matt, what do you feel like James Akinjo's brought to this team?
He's brought a ton. He's just ball security, gets everybody involved, hits big shots. He's done a lot for us, and he gets a lot of steals. He's an underrated defender, so he's done a good job.
You feel like he brings a certain level of toughness too?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely tough. I mean, he just plays. I mean, yeah, he's good. I don't know. Sorry.
Flo, Coach mentioned that Zach Loveday may find some more minutes in the rotation now. What have you seen out of him in practice that gives you confidence that he can step into that role?
I mean, ever since Zach got here, and he's kind of waited his time, and like just going against me and John every day at practice, so he kind of like knows exactly what he has to do, and also just intensifying his physicality of how to play, and just studying the game from me and John's perspective. But I feel like with the minutes he gets, he's going to embody that role. So I mean, even so, along the way, I still feel like I should still have a leadership role on him and teach him the ropes a little bit in the few minutes that he gets. So yeah.
Well, what have the conversations been like with John, obviously the past couple of days, with him kind of finding out his season was over and all those things?
I mean, the conversation with him is just more about life. In situations as such, you don't always want to bring up a basketball because it's an emotional thing to talk about. But just more so, just life stuff. Talking about God and every other aspect, family. Just basically get his mind off of the basketball aspect of things. But just more so like to show him that we're here for him, and if he ever needs to call anybody, hang out and such. So yeah.
Same thing I asked Matt about James. What do you like about what he's brought to this team?
I mean, James is a big tool in our team. He brings grit, he brings intensity, and he also brings commitment to where, like, we know what we're going to expect of him every night. He always puts his best foot forward and always try to get the guys involved. So, I mean, he's a huge piece in our team for
You
sure.
have to be pretty alert for some of his passes.
I mean, I do, but I would say with time, I've gotten better. I mean, I remember last year, Jared's passes, man, those were bullets. But at least with Jamie, put some little bit of finesse to it. But yeah, he's definitely like I said, man. He's a great piece to the team, and always gets everybody involved. So yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, your team's you've had injuries day to day, guys going in and out, but seeing John, you just kind of have that season-ending injury. Does it change anything mentally for you? How you guys move forward?
I mean, no, it doesn't entirely change anything, but obviously it's still a sentiment that's there that's been felt, around everybody from the players to the coaches. You know, when somebody who's always there, presence is no longer there, it kind of, you know, it's like a little downtime. But obviously, we know every day is 1-0, and we gotta, you know, surpass whatever obstacle we face, and just, you know, look ahead to use all the guys that we have.
Matt, John was such a constant energy presence. With him being gone, do you feel any pressure to kind of bring a little more energy, a little more spark into a game?
Yeah, we definitely got to bring the energy because, I mean, that's really what he did. He was just encouraging so much and got a lot of rebounds, you know, played great defense. So it's going to be hard to feel that energy, but I think, you know, playing Jeremy at the 5 some, maybe me at the 5 a little bit.
No.
You know. But, yeah, we're going to have to pick it up. So.
Did you feel like y'all did that well again in y'all's last game when he went down?
Yeah, we definitely kept the energy up, and I'm glad we could get that win for John.
Matt, just in terms of James, obviously, he's a guy who seems like he's fully back right now. Is there something at practice or in a game that he did where you're like, oh, like that's how I know he's like kind of fully back from that injury, or that's something that like looks like James?
I don't know. I feel like maybe part of it was mental, just like he was kind of trying to protect his back a little bit more. But I think it's just been like, I don't know, he's slowly gotten back. And then last game it seemed like he was totally himself. So it was definitely good to see that.
Matt, do you like those small lineups when Jeremy's at the 5, or theoretically you could be at the 5? Do you like playing in those kind of guard?
Yeah, I love playing the 5. That's my favorite position. I mean, yeah, it's a good thing. Like, it seems like our offense goes up and down pretty fast, and yeah, I like playing small ball, but I also like having flow in the game, blocking shots. So it's whatever to me.
Have you ever been able to post up flow in practice?
Yeah, it happens a lot. I can show y'all some game film on it. You know, it's some slight, so.
It's guaranteed bucket, but.
What are you expecting there?
Well, like the first time we faced them, 2 great defenses going at it. They're big, strong, physical, do a great job making everything tough, do a great job competing on the glass. Whenever you're playing on the road in the Big 12, first and foremost, you got to take care of the ball. You can't give them easies in transition. And second of all, we got to do a good job making sure that when we get them in rotations, that our shot selection's good, because that's just as bad as a turnover if you take a bad shot. And then other than that, I thought we got out to a great start, 31-16 here, 31-15, whatever it was, and then the things that got us the lead we stopped doing, so we just got to do that for 40 minutes instead of 15 or 18.
Do you see this as a game that could really affect seedings in the NCAA tournament?
Unfortunately, every game really affects, because
Yeah.
even if it's a game that you think, well, you should win, if you lose, those actually affect you more than games like this. And that's the beauty of playing in the Big 12 is when you go on the road and play a top 10 team, if you lose a top 15 team, you're not penalized to where it makes it where in conference there's nothing but good wins and good opportunities rather than bad losses.
Scott, obviously, with John being out for the year, have you talked much with him? How is he feeling right now?
Yeah, John's, I mean, everyday John's biggest strength is every day he's got a smile and he's upbeat, and that's made us a lot more upbeat. So he's having surgery today, praying that goes well, and then knowing John, he'll probably be rehabbing first thing in the morning.
Well, along those lines, you know, it feels like other injuries y'all have had, they've been day-to-day, they've been to guards where you've had a little more depth. How much different is this, dealing with this injury compared to the other injuries you've dealt with?
Well, I think this one, same with Langston. When you know they're out for the year, it takes the guesswork out of it as far as trying to come up with multiple game plans if you have someone, don't have someone. And obviously, John's a big part of everything we do. And one of the biggest things we'll miss is not only his contribution on game day and on the court, but in practice every day. He competes at such a high level. It makes everybody better, and the energy he brings. Everybody's got to pick that up because iron sharpens iron, and we got to keep improving as much as we can between now and our last game of the year. And with that, then you just why it takes a team to be successful. You got to have depth, and we got opportunities for other guys to step up now, and some guys that maybe to take on different positions and different roles. But we've done a great job thus far, battling through injuries and different adversities, and expect nothing less.
Does it look like James is finally kind of at that point where he was pre-injury, where he has kind of that quickness?
Yeah, I think definitely the last two games. And with James, he's such another guy who loves to be in the gym, loves to work on his craft. And when he's able to spend extra time working on his game, he's a rep guy. He does much better, and he's definitely moving a lot better, and that injury's behind him. No pun intended.
Does his toughness bring a lot to this team?
Oh, no question. First and foremost, Davion up top set the tone defensively, and I think when you see a guy up top working hard, it inspires, motivates everybody else. Plus, when you got someone working hard on defense up top, it allows you to be more aggressive, because now they're not playing downhill and maybe putting you on your heels, but you're putting them on their heels, and your passes aren't on time, on target, and that allows steals, transition. So a lot of good things.
Do you see him as a pretty special passer, assist guy? Because he can really.
Yeah, he got some definitely some no look passes and some flair to his game. Kind of reminded you of Pierre Jackson back in the day a little bit. So that's one of his talents. The other thing is he can score it. So versatile player, and somebody that you need both from. And 7-8 assists a game really help our offense for sure.
Coach, in terms of this Texas Tech team, having played them once this season, when you watched them, did they remind you a little bit of those crispier teams, or what way maybe are they a little different with Mark Adams now at the helm?
Well, definitely. One thing is, whenever you have a coaching change, things change. But I mean, the culture that they built there together still remains the same. I mean, and the players that have been there 2, 3, 4 years, they know the system. The system hasn't changed that much, especially on the defensive end. So a lot of similarities. Just guys are a little older, bigger, more experienced in that. And similar to with us, I mean, you look at our guys that have been in the program 3, 4 years. They just physically, maturity-wise, mentally, provide great leadership, and again, the common denominator of great defense. They don't beat themselves. They compete. That's all there still.
The atmosphere at the arena in Lubbock this year has been pretty good, and I saw there are some students camping out for the game, for your game. How do you kind of prepare your guys to play in an environment like that, and what can they learn from?
Yeah, I would really like to know, do they go to class around there, to be honest. I mean, so, but no, you love basketball in Texas, and the excitement that it brings, and over the years, the momentum it's picked up. You look at last year, 2 Final Four teams from the state, and I think there's a lot of excitement about basketball. Our fans have been outstanding, and I know the students have brought a lot of energy at Tech as well.
Scott, other than Flo playing some more minutes, what is the plan, or what are options?
Well, you know, Jeremy's played some 5. You've also had Zach Loveday, and besides that, it seems like everybody's going 5 guards anyway. So, but Jeremy's already had reps there, and Zach's played there all year. So those are your 2 initial reactions, and then from there, whatever the game dictates.
You mentioned you liked how Flo stepped up after John left the game against Texas.
Yeah.
What have your conversations with Flo been like since then?
I think the biggest thing all of us have shared with him is he just has to be wise, foul trouble wise. And when you have a 2-headed monster and you got John and Flo, it allows you to be ultra aggressive. And if you pick up an aggressive foul or a careless foul, it's not the end of the world. But now we need Flo to make sure that when he fouls, it's appropriately and at the right time, and not things that put us in jeopardy.
Scott, I know we ask you about LJ every time, but is there a little more hope maybe this time?
Every time we've met, there's been more hope. So as far as him playing, I mean, literally, we could walk out today and practice, and he could do everything, or he could do nothing. So I'll see what he does today, and then see where he's at tomorrow. But the good thing is, LJ is a really tough kid, and when he's able to play, he will play.
Obviously not for this one, but will Jonathan still make trips and stuff just to be around the team, or what's your plan with him?
Oh, you definitely want him around as much as we can have him around. At the same time, I know with like Langston, initially you need him rehabbing, and then after that, as much as we can have him around, and the leadership he provides, the smile, energy. I mean, he's an energy giver. Definitely, you want him around, and he'll do whatever he can to help the team. That's what John does. The biggest thing is making sure he stays down on the bench and isn't jumping around like he normally does.
Scott, is there maybe a best case hope for John when he could be back? Or?
I think it's too early right now. I think after surgery we'll have more answers because obviously it's an extensive surgery.
Coach, what was the biggest thing that, looking back on that game against Texas Tech the first time around, you guys took away from that or were able to learn from that, especially with how that game progressed?
Well, I think after each game you see things that have worked, things that were effective, and then you see things that you need to change, adjust to. I mean, it's a Big 12 team that's a top 15, top 10 team in the nation. So we got to control what we can control, and I think what we did to get the lead, we just got to do for 40 minutes rather than 15.
Scott, you face a lot of injuries this year, obviously. Just with kind of a tight rotation, what have you seen from Dale Bonner? Just kind of how has he stepped up and kind of seamlessly transitioned into this team?
Well, Dale's a joy each and every day because, as you know, when we have everybody, sometimes he doesn't play, and then other times when you're shorthanded, he plays a ton, and that's probably the toughest position. I mean, if you're in the rotation, you know what to expect. If you're not playing, you know what to expect. But from one game to another, that's in my experience in recent years especially, that's probably the toughest position you can be on in the team. And he does it with a smile each and every day. He's never complained. Whatever he can do to help the team get better, he's a joy to be around each and every day. And the best thing is he's gotten better competing in practice each and every day and learning from the upperclassmen. And then his game experience has gotten more. He's relaxed. And I know early on he didn't make many shots in practice. Then he made a lot of shots, and I think it's similar to the game. I mean, he's somebody now that when he takes open shots, the team and coaches feel like it's going in.